Hello everyone, how's it going? Ooh, that's too loud I think. Let me just very subtly. There we go. Happy time zone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day whenever you are listening this or watching. But yeah, today let's continue with some Great Ace Attorney. Last time we left on the end. I be here but playing video games. You do you, Imperial Woodland. I hope you have a fantastic evening playing video games. And I hope that your day has been good so far. Today we're going to continue right where we left off, which is right at the end of case 1. We still have to do the whole conclusion thing where they talk after the thing, the trials all said and done. So without further ado, let us jump right into it. In just a second. I'm getting some water first. Nice. It's been not too hot here for what we're used to, but lately it's been creeping up ever so slightly. Next week we're about to have a 40 plus degrees Celsius degrees week, so that's going to be fun. I'll try to see if I can stream comfortably on that heat, but I'll have to see. I do have a fan ready to if I am struggling here in the mid-20s. Yeah, I mean that also depends because like mid-20s here is okay because we have like the housing prepared for it. Meanwhile in the UK I assume that the housing is not prepared for that. So yeah, it really just does depend on both the place and how the place is built. But I hope that you get some cool temperatures soon enough. But yeah, I do have a fan right there. You can't see it, but I have it like right behind me. And I also have AC ready just in case. But we'll have to see. Yeah, you are not built. You are built for cold and not for heat. Exactly. It's a thing. Climate change and everything, and temperatures. A whole mess, really. But let's not dilly-dally on that, and let's jump right into it. Let me open up the game and get rid of the music as we do. Should be on screen at the moment. Lots of screens going on. Alright. Alright, let's continue. Oh god, now I have to remember all the voices from the previous stream. Okay. I'll try my best not to be too annoying on them. 13th of August, 2:38 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendant's Antechamber number 3. It's over. My heart is still pounding in my chest though. It's all I can do just to stay standing. Lawyers have such great responsibility. Such a great burden to bear. Don't they, Naruhodo-san? Aww. I'm going to guess that this is different. Susato! Oh, she's crying. Thank you so much. You were so dashing in there. Bollera, con bolleras. Ray and father. Honestly, I'm so touched by everything you've. Oh no, I think I'm going to cry. You're already crying. It wasn't easy, but together we made it. I was on the verge of tears at the end too. The only reason I'm still here is because of you. Oh no, I can't take all the credit. It took courage to tell the truth in there. You did wonderfully, Ray. So I would have to say that the congratulations belong to you. Susato, don't be so standoffish. Sorry? We're friends. Friends, like quote-unquote friends. We're friends, equals, and the trial's over. So no more of this formal superhumanity nonsense. Time to celebrate with swagger. Okay. To throw caution into the I cannot do high-pitched voices at the moment. What the fuck is going on? Caution to the... what? I'm the great defense lawyer, Ryutaro Naruhodo. And I'm taking you out to a milk bar tomorrow. Or something. Right, I see. I'll, think about it, Ray. By friends, do you mean roommates? And by roommates, do you mean bolleras? Perhaps. At any rate, we really knocked the wind out of that horrid man. And it felt so good. Yeah, you... For those who weren't here, at the end of the case, we found the true criminal. And both Rei and Susato did a karate... a judo attack on the guy at the end of the trial. It was amazing. Yes, it was satisfying. It really was. Isn't there anybody else we could throw together? Oh my... Why are you looking? Why are you looking at Susato's father at the moment? I hope you're not looking at me, Ray. I mean, she's kind of looking at you, sir. Oh my goodness! No, of course not! Ah, there it is at last. Ray's lovely smile. And they were friends. You fought for your friends to the very last. As your father, I'm extremely proud of you. Defense attorney Ryutaro Naruhodo. Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without your help. Anyway, it's time to bid farewell to Ryutaro, I think. I shall miss him in a way, but it's back to Satomi Kotoba now. So, I'll never see him again then. What a terrible shame. Japan, you are like this close to figuring out the best LGBTQ story. You're just like, you don't really take the next step. You frustrate me so much with this. Okay, what was that? What? What is happening? Soseki-san and Inspector Hosonaga. I do hope you've been keeping well. Is that really you? Yes, I had to change my appearance for, well, obvious reasons, I hope. But it's me. Satomi Kotoba. I don't. So everyone is like Ryutaro is like the peak of fashion. It doesn't matter the gender. Oh, dashing, so divine. Okay, hold up. I was wondering what was making all that noise. It's my controller. Can unplug it real quick so that it stops with the vibrations. There we go. Now it should be all fine and dandy. No! Doubly dashing! Yes, and devilish divine, just look at you! I had no idea Mitsusato-san Esquires that you were locum student Naruhodo-san Esquire's cousin. That was a mouthful. Astonishingly outstanding ace attorney! I am keeping that one for personal use. Poor Soseki-san. So confused. I still remember the first time I ever met him. He was in a prison cell in London. What an extraordinary conundrum it was that the unwitting student from Japan found himself embroiled in. But after Naruhodo-san's skillful defense at the Old Bailey, Soseki-san was free to return to Japan. And now he seems to have earned himself great fame as an author. I'm stunned. That's a truly impressive disguise. Even I had no idea. An amateur inspector at the police bureau came up with Mr. Turtle, no less. Dude, you can just come clean and admit that your costumes suck. I'm not sure you should be admitting to that, Inspector. Amazing. You are a woman of many faces, I see.
Just two, really. And this was a once-in-a-lifetime event. I hope. Oh, I'm not a patch on you though, Inspector.
Well, I am a professional, of course. Why am I giving you a vampire voice? Vampire accent.
I do worry about the Inspector Hosonaga sometimes, I really do. 9 months ago, when he appeared here at the Supreme Court to testify, he was undercover, disguised as the head waiter of a restaurant. And then on the steam ship to Great Britain, of course, disguised as a sailor to keep us safe on the journey.
Ooh.
So that didn't help you, did it? Kazuma-sama.
From my perspective, I have to admit that I have mixed feelings about all this. I mean, now the truth has been lost forever.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the murder that the English woman committed at the end of last year.
Ah, yes, it was an English doctor she killed, and as I understand it.
Dr. John H. Wilson, yes. The man I invited to Japan personally. The mystery is, why did she kill him? Now that the culprit herself is dead, we'll probably never know the answer. Except this is an Ace Attorney game, and that name was vital to the little code message that we found at the end of case 5. So, who knows, we'll probably know it later on.
On the way to Great Britain, we had a most unexpected encounter. With Mr. Harlock Sholmes, the great detective, I mean.
Yes, I remember Mr. Sholmes well, of course.
Ah, my arch nemesis! How lightly you utter his name.
Soseki, my guy. Never change.
Well, according to the stories published about him in The Adventures of Harlock Sholmes, the detective once had a partner who helped him solve crimes. A best friend. And that man was an exceptional doctor of medicine, by the name of John H. Wilson. What? Dr. Wilson? I just can't believe that it's a coincidence. I think that the English doctor of medicine killed here in Japan 9 months ago must have been the friend and partner of Mr. Sholmes. And if that's really true, then the poor girl won't even see her beloved father again.
As you know, I traveled to Great Britain once myself to study. It was around the time you were born.
Yes, grandmother told me about it. How the fuck did you run to the other side of the world just to avoid taking care of me?
Well... Anyway, on returning to Japan, I took up my professorship at the Imperial Yume University. But I also serve another role, as an advisor to the government on diplomatic affairs.
Yes, I was aware of that as well.
In that case, I'm sure you understand that there are some confidential matters I cannot divulge to you.
Could you just tell me one thing? Why did you summon me back to Japan? It's been 2 months now since I returned. When I left England, it was because an urgent telegram had arrived from Japan. It said that you had collapsed with a high fever, and you were growing weaker by the day. What? Where did that news come from? That's what I would like to know. Because after that long sea voyage, I found you in fine health, father. Was there something in Great Britain that you perceive might inconvenience me in some way? Or harm me? That's really the only explanation I can think of.
Hear me. You deserve your most cutting glares for your father, Susato. I'm sorry, my dear. I simply can't. Ah, let me go. Oh.
Minimemo-san! No, one throw wasn't enough for you.
I've got one last thing to say before they take me away. Professor. Me? I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on. In that visiting student's fate. Visiting student? Giselle Brett, you mean? No, not her! The student of law who left for Great Britain 8 months ago.
What? Student of law? He must mean... Kazuma-sama. What are you talking about? What does any of this have to do with Kazuma-sama?
Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on that steamship, and that he'll never... Oh. Sir? Well, I didn't expect to find him in here. What were you officers playing at? Terribly sorry, Your Excellency. Was coming to tell you that the rickshaw has arrived, Eugene. And it's a good job I came by. Yes, thank you for dealing with him. And I'll be there shortly.
Oh, Your Excellency.
That's over. I'm not Your Excellency anymore. Merely your father's friend, Shishiro Jigoku. And may I say that since I saw you last, you seem to have taken on a more dashing appearance. Why is everyone commenting on Susato? I know Susato looks good, but Jesus Christ, this is starting to be a little bit uncomfortable. Susato.
Did you know all along, from the start of the trial?
The judge sees everything, Susato. I couldn't let you take the risk. If Seishiro here hadn't known and then he had recognized you. So I had a word in his ear beforehand, as an old friend. So, Seishiro, shall we? Yes. Having ruled on that case, we now have various diplomatic issues to address.
Before you go, father.
Sorry, my dear. We shall have to return to our earlier conversation at a later date. And that means never. But well done again, both of you. You did admirably.
Oh, thank you very much.
What do you think of my Shishiro sling, eh? A while since I sent a man playing like that. So, are we going to think that that man that taught Susato everything that she knows about throwing people?
Whatever could father be hiding from me? About the sailbread? About Dr. Wilson? And now it seems, according to the reporter, about Kazuma-sama. I'm going to have to bring this up with father sometime. When nobody else is around.
Oh, you were here. Judicial Assistant Mikoto-san Esquires. Could I have a word?
Oh, yes, of course, Soseki-san. What is it?
I think perhaps it could be fate that we're meeting again like this now. You see, there's something I need to tell you.
Oh?
I believe that it may be related to the reason why your father summoned you back from England.
This I have to hear. Please, Soseki-san, tell me all at once.
I will. As you know, my time in England was terrible. Cursed, I have no doubt. That's awful things I was embroiled in. Thank goodness Locum student Naruhodo-san Esquire stepped in. After he secured my freedom, I couldn't wait to get on a ship back here to my homeland. When I arrived here in Japan, I submitted a report about my experience to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The next thing I knew, I had a visitor. It was your father, Professor Mikotoba. He wanted to ask me all sorts of things about my report.
My father?
He seemed to be especially taken with a particular part of the report. Anyway, he left eventually, having thoroughly quizzed me. But it was the very next day that he sent the telegram to you, asking you to return to Japan.
What was it then? The particular part my father was interested in?
I don't really know exactly. But do you remember them? Those two terrible cases I was caught up in.
Of course, I could never forget.
Your father seemed concerned himself mainly with the second case.
The second one? You mean... the one Mr. Sholmes forbade any of us to talk about in public? This is why the only case involving you that any member of the public is aware of is the first.
Well, I don't care. I don't have to listen to what that dastardly detective says. Anyway, the point is, it seems that case somehow holds the key to all these curious unanswered questions. That horrific, heinous case. The case of the haunted lodgings.
That case somehow caused my father to summon me urgently back to Japan? I thought that whole business was over, but it seems I was wrong. Perhaps that was only the start. Perhaps the story is not yet told.
What case are they talking about?
So, the mystery of that English woman's death is solved, thank goodness. And having stood in the Supreme Court now, I think I can comprehend a little better. How you must be feeling as you fight for people's freedom in a foreign land, Naruhodo-san. But actually, I'm writing to you today because of another matter. I met Soseki-san and we talked about that second case he was involved in. Father has said nothing to me, but I feel certain of it. That case holds the key to some great unsolved mystery. My notes on the case should still be in the office, tucked away at the back of the shelves on the left. Perhaps you might like to look over them again. Today, for the first time this year, it feels as though summer has arrived. The sky is a brilliant blue. It makes me long to see you again. Yours, Susato.
Is that second case going to be a new case that we're going to see here? As a flashback or something like that? Yes, please. Actually, let's save it on a new slot. Episode 2, The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro. Alright. Real quick. There we go. Start playing from the start of this episode. The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road. As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight than in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night. I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas. Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene. It only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer just starting out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived as a visiting student of law. Alright, so we're going back to the past. A bit weird, but okay. Having made the long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy of sorts. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest court, the Old Bailey. But since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return. But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to waken from slumber. Thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. It must be nearly time for breakfast. I'd better go down. Okay, so we're not going back in time? No. I think this is present time. Because we just got the letter that Susato sent. Maybe now they're going to talk about it and then we're going to be sent into a flashback case or something like that. I'd better go down to Mr. Sean's suit and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. 13th of August, 7:28 AM. Sean's suit. Oh god, Iris voice. Okay.
Bruno, good. I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready.
Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news. I had a surprise this morning. Not another word, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm smoking. No. This could just be the abstruse thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation-repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, I see. So that's it. Oh my god! Please don't ever come this close to me. The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. What are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo. You have, this very morning, met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? But of course, though I don't look for admiration, you understand. My hair always looks like this. It's been this way since I first met you. Oh, it has? And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember. By you.
You burned your button off?
Oh my god! Ryuno? Ryunosuke, are you already cheating on Kazuma with Sholmes? Ah, yes, I recall the incident now. It was after supper. Whoa. Oh. And they were roommates! It was after supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing note of a haunting tune. But then, to my utter dismay, their string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? Little wonder then, that in my vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. I think we need to work on your anger issues, buddy. Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me that I can't fasten my jacket. It's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. Helpful. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
But Harley, Russell said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning.
He is the biggest detective himbo I've ever seen. This is amazing. Well, that really is a surprise. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire. Famous consulting detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name.
Alright then, enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it gets cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too. My latest special blend.
And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. A truly exceptional young girl, who's the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes as published in Rand's magazine. So, Mr. Naruhodo, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprised you this fine morning? Ah, well, I received a letter from Japan.
Oh, from Susie, you mean? Was it? Really?
That's right, and she had some rather startling news, in fact. Ah, intriguing indeed. You must tell us all about it over breakfast.
Oh yes, what fun.
Alright. First of all, let's examine the whole place. When it gets to this time of year, Londoners seem to leave their hearts alight all day long, and I love it. There's something very relaxing about watching the flames flit and dance about. But a fireplace in days of a summertime is a waste of space. Really, no use at all.
Rather like a great detective in days of no crimes and no criminals, Harley?
But consider this. Instead of a fireplace, a frost place. That's my latest idea. You know, if he didn't sound insane while saying it, it's like removing that aside, it's actually like a good idea. Like he's proposing is easy, basically. An extraordinarily hearth from which emanates a cool breeze in the hot summer months. What do you think? I think if you invented such a thing, your name would go down in history. Principle is extremely simple. One must, of course, light a cold fire in the hearth. I don't really think that's how it works. Yes, of course, brilliant. The trouble is, none of the fires I built ever burn cold. Oh, it taunts me. Though, as you British say, it's a bit of a damp squib. I don't think that's how people say it. Ah, yes, the huge metal chest with the lace cloth laid on it, being used as a table for tea and coffee. Hey, don't criticize a huge metal chest with a lace cloth laid on it, being used as a table for tea and coffee. Because that is amazing. Like, you can just have a treasure chest in the middle of your living room and use it for things, and also storing secrets. That's amazing. It's very sturdy, that's for sure, and firmly locked shut.
That chest contains my father's detailed records of Harley's many cases.
Yes, so I've been led to believe, though personally I've never actually seen inside.
And that's the way it will stay. Those papers are a secret between Daddy and me.
It's something that people do say, but given that a squib comes from filmmaking, I would assume it's probably an American phrase. Who knows?
If you go opening it uninvited, you might find yourself being beaten.
Or shot at. Jesus Christ, this girl. What? Is there a beast inside there or something? We're going to end up opening that eventually. These are different pieces of evidence from cases you've solved, aren't they, Mr. Jones? Not quite, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite. These trinkets are a selection from cases I've solved with particular aplomb. They are souvenirs of my success. Memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories. Blue Parrot, hello, welcome in. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Because, holy shit. Ryunosuke and Shons are together now. So, okay. No, the designs, see, they are still the same. Okay, let me explain, okay? So apparently there was a second Soseki case that happened in the first game that we didn't see. And that holds the key to like everything, to the bigger mystery of the games, right? And Susato sent a letter to Ryunosuke about it, like, hey, check the documents on the thing. And then Ryunosuke goes down and this guy Shons is like, I know why you are stressed out. It's because I know it because your jacket is lacking the third button or something like that. And then Ryunosuke says, I know. You tore it last night after supper. Why did he... Why? Now, the game said that it's because Jones was distressed about his violin having a plucked string. But I don't buy it. That's hot. Yeah. Yep. Also, Susato's father is very sassy at the moment. He is very, very sassy at the moment. Like, very, very sassy. So there's that. We cannot... No, not him. He's so... Look. He's... Not only is he sassy, he's a very bad parent. Because right when Susato was born, he went off to Great Britain to study. He literally ran off at the moment Susato was born, with the excuse of having to study. God fucking... He's innocent, Your Honor. God fucking damn it. Speaking of Your Honor, he's also friends with the judge back in Japan, so... Yeah, very, very sassy indeed. Very, very sassy indeed. But yeah, now we're just exploring the suit once again, examining everything, and then we're going to talk about the letter that we received. Really? So, tell me about the case in which the bust of Napoleon featured. I forget. Charles. I forget. I'm going to do that. I see reaction picture. Memories, he says. Wonderful, Mr. Jones. Wonderful. Alright. I forgot. Yes. Books, papers, scientific implements. These shelves are stuffed to the canals. Miss Susato wouldn't be able to help herself if she were here. She can't stand mess.
So she might not be able to stand mess, but she wouldn't dare touch those shelves.
Oh? Why not?
Everything's in intricate balance. Curly spends ages on it. If you were to touch even one thing, the whole lot would come tumbling down. Does he notice that it was a very delicate arrangement right from the outset?
You make it sound like a meeting of great minds. But the truth is, Mr. Shams just needs to tidy up. Mr. Shams is like the biggest ADHD himbo detective I've seen in a while, and I love it so much. Alright, we have done that. Now, anything new around here? Nope. Alright. These are so many different bottles up here, up there on that charming little set of white shells.
Oh, do be careful, Bruno. You mustn't try the contents of any of those bottles, even if you're hungry.
Are they drugs? I wouldn't do something stupid like that. I'm not a child, you know.
Well, I wish I could say the same for Harley.
Wait, Hurley's a child?
The other day, he polished off a full bottle of one of my alkaloids.
He what?
He said he was hungry.
Someone stop this man. Someone arrest this man, Jesus Christ. I'll be extra careful. But yeah, I hope your day's been going well, Blue Parrot. I hope you are doing okay in general. I look forward to finding out what aroma your tea will have, Iris, every single day.
Oh well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs on the garden every time, so it's never the same twice.
When you call it a concoction, it sounds more like a science experiment than something for tea time.
Oh yes, that's because different plants can have very different properties. Now you have a tea minigame.
There's a tea minigame in a Professor Layton game. I think it was the second one. So like I'm already on my guard waiting for them to throw it in here.
Some can do that, some make you feel jolly, some give you energy. Today's particular blend is something quite special, so you're really in for a treat.
That sounds ominous. Alright. Ah, yes. This is where you note down this is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? Like the potential formula. What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle.
Yeah, it's from a case of theft that Harley solved ages ago. The theft of a precious stone. A carbuncle is another name for a garnet, you see. Especially if it's cut with a rounded top.
Oh, really? And this garnet was blue, was it?
Well, that's the thing. They're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered.
My voice is starting to crack, so give me just a second. Oh. Iris' voice really hurts me. Oh.
Oh, who knows what the stone...
I'm dying.
So who knows what the stolen gemstone actually was? That's the real mystery of the case.
They prepare her like some conundrum, huh? Alright. The...
I can type with my eyes shut, you know.
I mean, I can do that as well, but it would probably just be gibberish. I can believe it. When a deadline is approaching, you sound like a Gatling gun.
That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It was such a funny one. It woke me, actually. I was killing someone with my gun. I must have been for a whole hour in the pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake.
That's incredible.
But then, when it got light, I found that there wasn't any paper in the machine. Now I wonder if I had actually been typing at all.
I think you might just have fallen asleep on the job. Ah, poor Iris. She works too much, taking care of the storms. Ah, yes, Mr. Sholm's faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by somebody famous?
Yes, it's a Stradivarius. No, I'm afraid you would have to save up for 100 years before you could afford one, Rono.
Didn't you buy it for a song, Mr. Sholmes? I found it at a pawnbrokery among the forfeited articles. It clearly said Stradivarius on the label. What? The ignorant broker had no idea of its true value, you see. So I paid a mere 55 shillings for it. Yes, I have something of return for shopping. Sherlock Holmes, Bergen Hunter. But is it really a Stradivarius then? But of course, my dear fellow. No, it's not. It's probably not. It's probably going to be like a joke that they bring back later on. Said so on the label. I think perhaps the ignorant broker had something of a turn for selling. Oh, we cannot click on the drugs anymore. Sad. Alright, what's this huge machine? That machine really is imposing, isn't it? But I can never remember its name.
Charlie calls it his great analytoscope. Can analyze anything at all.
That doesn't really help me. What does analyzing something even mean? Ah, an extremely astute question, Mr. Naruto. Sorry. Well, as I said, my machine here spits out analysis results of anything with which you care to present it. Touch no more drugs. Rest in peace, drugs. We will never forget you. But how to interpret those results? That's the key. And I confess I have no idea. This is just Science 101. Clearly, I'm going to have to construct a great analytoscope to solve the problem. That might not help. Okay, so anything new around here? No, seems we got everything. Sadly, we have lost our button. It's no longer on the floor. It's gone forever. Alright then. Miss Susato's letter. This is the letter that arrived from Japan this morning, by international post.
Oh, how lovely. Look at such beautiful writing. I wish I could read it.
And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case.
Ah, really? Oh, isn't she wonderful?
Cut above your good self, my dear fellow. Won cases too, you know. Yeah, we literally haven't lost a single case. Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness. Natsume. No, I don't recall that name. Of course you do. We had the man, twice. You know, in those two cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago. Oh, the mustache, twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache. You said mustache twice.
He didn't have two mustaches, Harley.
Yes, who could forget those two cases? They made a very deep impression on me. Okay, the game is like, there's a cat leak at Sean's place. Oh my god. There's like, so the game is like beating us on the head like, oh, there are two cases with Natsume. There are two cases over and over again. It's like, no, there aren't. In the first game there was only one case with Natsume. They are inventing a whole new case because they want to, and they're like trying to gaslight us into thinking that there were two. Although I must confess, the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. Startling news. So, what was this startling news penned by Miss Susato? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sons? Ah, yes. It's very interesting, you know. And feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. Jesus Christ, Sons. He's totally forgotten, then. Anyway, in her letter, Miss Susato asked that we read her over her case notes and investigate further. Though it took place half a year ago. For what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Mr. Sato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram.
Oh, that case, yes. Was very strange, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I had compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication too. But then Harley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, you said. Very mysteriously as well.
Really? I said that. Are you sure? You perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes. About why Mrs. Sato was suddenly told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan. Bro, is Sholmes sassy now? Do we have to not trust Sholmes? Miss Susato's repatriation.
It's been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan.
Hey Victor, welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Indeed it was, due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. No, it just said that he was suffering from a high fever, because of which was unknown if he is not dead. But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse. Oh, sorry, I need to like... There we go.
A rose? Oh, Susie's daddy
Don't ever say that again.
lied to her so that she would make the voyage back home. Why would he do that?
I have to admit, I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Miss Susato's father is hiding.
Harley, do you know what it's all about?
He's just ready to go. Well, who can say? And Sholmes is sassy now. What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. He's just avoiding the question. And a stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel. Even if I were quite at leisure. So, mend the fort in my absence, won't you, Iris?
I will, Harley, don't worry. See you later.
He's scuttled off rather quickly there. I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Yuki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Sholmes.
Aha! I found them at last.
Iris, are they...
You know about the case? That's right. Lucy and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. You want to read them, Bruno?
Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case. Or perhaps if I read the notes again, something might come to light.
That's the spirit.
Why are you using a gun for reading? And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. I just need to find a clue. And I have all the time in the world. Because of course. I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain? What the fuck? Ryunosuke, explain, now. It was 6 months ago. A mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement on Briar Road with a knife in her back. Okay, but this is like the first case. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick, and nobody saw her attacker, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time, and was duly arrested. That man was Soseki-san. The man who effected his arrest was Mr. Soames. He put a bomb in the stand, oh no. Ah, look at them! Believing in our compatriots' innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation! Was the man's reaction after the trial, but his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Soames the following morning. The victim of Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Barts at once. So, Susato-san and I summoned a hansom and headed immediately to the hospital. "21st of February, 5:30 AM, and St. Bartholomew's Hospital, recovery ward. There is a rat. There is a rat in this hospital. Rat. Rats. There you are at last. Good morning, Mr. Soames. I think not. Oh. You are late. What on earth took you so long?
Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Soames. And it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital.
That's right. And it's 5:30 now.
I think we made a very good time.
We're rats. We are rats. We're the rats. Yes, you get it, Blue Parrot. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. That's the ADHD, my guy. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. We pray at night, we stalk at night. We're the rats. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Fuck you in particular. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. He has only just regained consciousness. Aww. You should introduce yourself. I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with the knife in her back.
Her name is... yes, here we are. Miss Green.
That's a bit on the nose. Alright, first of all...
Nick! A mouse, Mr. Naruhodo. An enormous mouse.
Vermin in a hospital? That doesn't seem the best.
But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump.
I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you're thinking.
That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings.
She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though.
I expect a friend or family member probably brought something for her.
Alright then, let's see what's inside. Wait, why are we looking inside? We're literally right in front of her. A change of clothes, no doubt, and...
No, Mr. Naruhodo. You must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings.
But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. Ryunosuke, please. There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that?
If you were a patient here, I feel sure you would take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep.
That is a worry, but at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy looking one.
Oh, I have no doubt you would manage to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well.
There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Mr. Seto. Ah, this looks like the patient's treatment note. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place, a zoo?
You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park.
For the pigeons, yes, this is a person. Poor woman, I hope she hasn't read this. Ugh. Oh. Nothing particular of note. The window is open. This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it?
I don't think that's decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe. Used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses.
Really? Not exactly what you would call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it?
No, I suppose not.
I had to yawn there.
I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before.
Jesus Christ, can we stop with the jokes? Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here.
Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman.
He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think?
My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart.
Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought for. I want to look at this. Naruhodo, please. Alright. I was kind of expecting Mr. Sons to be here, like laying down or something. Ah, this looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital.
The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so...
He or she, or they, is probably running around the hospital then.
Oh dear, how worrying.
What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. There are all sorts of medicines in this cabinet, look. I'm not sure if it's safe leaving them in reach of everyone like this.
Yes, you're right. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle of two.
Susato, you're thinking of Shams here, not me. Well, at least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinet doors.
I don't imagine that would stop you if you were hungry.
I worry that you would break the lock. I'm not a... Susato, do you think of Ryunosuke like as an animal? Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know, Miss Susato. Alright. Good morning. Hola, pasa soledad si dejo mi marca, quizás más tarde vuelva. Bienvenido y gracias por pasarte, Mark. Espero que tengas una buena tarde, un buen día. Y gracias por pasarte. Oh boy, let's see what voice I gave her. Hello, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm from the Empire of Japan. Oh no! What was it your name, Dad? Are you the man who... No, I'm a lawyer.
This is Satomi Kotoba. Pleased to meet you.
Oh no, what is your name then? Are you the one?
No, I assure you. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you have regained consciousness and wanted to come to give you our best wishes.
Best wishes for me? Thank you. I'm olive green. I mean, olives can also be dark. I'm an artist. No, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back. Lady, please. I don't think that's related, actually.
Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down.
Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. What the incident? You suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day. The fog was so thick. I couldn't see a thing. It was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time.
But the case has been solved, hasn't it? Well, I've been here in the hospital, I mean. Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly by none other than I, Sherlock Holmes. You did nothing. Right? You only got in the way.
Mr. Shams, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in court that solved the case.
Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly.
Oh, I see.
Becoming around seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have remained in consciousness. It was selfish of me.
Oh no. We're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. We are.
I think this is like one of the first victims of a isotonic case that actually survives. Or one of the few that do. With that kind of attitude, maybe her short name should be Blue, not Green. How about yourself? So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh, no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really. At the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts.
Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts. Great Britain is such a wonderful country.
Tell me, Miss Green, you live hereabouts? Oh no, actually, I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road. I see. How very interesting. Oh no, where is it? Brixton is some 10 stops away. Sorry. My throat got very bad there. I am extremely sorry for that. Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3 minutes walk from Brixton town centre. Does that matter, Mr. Shams? Perhaps not. But Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison. Dwelt in by those of inferior means. Shams, do not be a classist. Please, I am begging you. Including the maleficent Mr. Moustache. Inferior means? I suppose Soseki-san does fit the bill. Ryunosuke, not you too! Ryunosuke, please. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. He's British, it's baked into everything he does. That's fair. That's all. What is this? He's suddenly clammed up.
Mr. Jones, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Oh dear me, do forgive me. If you don't mind. He can't stop being classist in the same way he can't stop breathing and digesting. True. That's true. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things. Ooh, she's hiding something. Oh, yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. Is there a Mr. Narufoder here? Mr. Narufoder? Narufoder now? Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but... Ah, Mr. Narufoder, good. This is for you. I'm a vampire. It's a message from a Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg. Mr. Nutsmeg? Sent a message to me?
But why would a policeman be delivering the message from Mr. Natsume?
Exactly. What's going on? Is he in jail again? Jesus Christ. What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? What are you waiting for? Let me see that. Oh! Well, this is most unexpected. I cannot read this. Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen this note? No, how could I have? It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once.
Murder?
Call a cab. Time is of the essence.
But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we had to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did.
That will be entirely convenient.
Convenient? What do you mean?
It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Moustache lodgings. Wait, what? And he wrote it in English?
I'll hail it. I will hail a fiacre, a taxi at once.
It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address? He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed to us at the time, that we were soon to discover that it was worse than we thought. 21st of February, 10:18 AM. Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ground floor. Oh, this guy. What on earth?
Oh my, the gentleman is deceased without question. He's dead.
Look at the Mr. Naruhodo Squire.
Mr. Natsume?
Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday. I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And then I wake up the next day to this? No early bird should catch a worm like this. You have got to be kidding. Yeah, it's literally the next day. Oh my god. Also, did his home get renovated while he was in court? Because there's like no books and costumes now and stuff. Woeful worm without wiggle. I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Moustache. Ah! Not the horrible Herlock Sholmes. Shut up. Show yourself the door. I never invited you.
Mr. Jones came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume.
I am entirely at your disposal, Mr. Moustache. What can I do for you? Leave! That's what you can do for me. Oh. Here they are. Already. The busybodies. Oh, Inspector Gregson. What a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? Gives me a heartburn every time I see your face at the crime scene, Chums. I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. That could be it, I'm sure. Do not eat too many fried food, people. It will mess with your cholesterol and stuff. Good morning, Inspector. This is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything. Don't worry, we won't, and then we'll proceed to touch literally everything. Because that's in an Ace Attorney case. Or good morning to you too, Sunshine. Alright. Oi, I sent hands off. They're gonna mess up my crime scene. Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance, I know your kind. You will mess it up just by looking at it. Ugh. Someone's in a bad mood. There's certainly some butter in here, isn't there? Alright. Sounds like I'd better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Alright, yeah, everything's like marked. Alright. Hello there, Victor, welcome back. How are you doing? So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare. Tengo que darme una ducha, ya salí a mi lado otaku. Pues muy mal. Has entrado en otra cosa, Otaka. You fucking weeb. No way. No fucking way. Okay, I know that this series has a problem with names. But this is ridiculous. This... He was a lodger here. As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss, as it happens. Or just dead.
Mr. Shakespeare.
He was the landlord, old Mr. Garidev, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. But I didn't rise at his usual hours, so Garidev got worried and kicked the door down. Garidev got very worried that someone didn't wake up at like 6 AM. We need to stop these riders. Yeah, they need to be stopped. But doesn't Mr. Garidev have a bad leg? Yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking. Really? Seki-san? Victim was pretty hot up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. A miserable life, and a miserable end. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fella looks odd or anything, but that he acts suspicious. Jesus Christ, Gregson, I know, right? He's like very brutal. But I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the culprit. I mean, cohabitor. Yes. Gregson! He was in court yesterday. When did Kita have time to kill him? Jesus Christ, Gregson, his body's right there. You don't have to kill him right again. I know. Like, Natsume was in court yesterday. Why would he kill? How? When? This doesn't work. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you?
Oh dear. Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again.
How? Why?
It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he? Poor man. How unfortunate.
Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fella's been gone that long. The body is still warm. Are you sure he's not just asleep? If Natsume was a real writer, his Wikipedia page would be so fun. Blue Parrot. Natsume is based on a real author of Japan. You remember that, right? Or are you talking about the character in... Yeah, Blue Parrot, we've talked about this. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, you meant the character. You meant specifically the character, right? Right? No, I did not. I forgot. This is your biggest forgot so far. I love it. No, but yeah, it's based on a real author. It's the author that wrote "I Am a Cat." That's why he has a cat in the first case. Remember? Even if the Spectre would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Oh, yeah. What a terrible thing to have happened. Oh wait, it's just a game. Oh, what a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident of the payment outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. So, the victim lives here on the ground floor, and your room is just 1 story up, isn't it? Yes, that's right. The way we were neighbors, I suppose. So did you know the victim? Were you friends? Oh god, Soseki. Soseki, my dude. Please. What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. Were they mortal enemies? No, Blue Parrot. They were neighbors. They were neighbors. But did he never invite me to his room? Never. On my honor, I swear it.
What an extreme reaction. Really wishing you had never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
No, they were neighbors. No, Blue Parrot, they didn't explore each other's bodies. When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. That inspector over there. Sholmes? Sholmes? Is Sholmes going to spin kick Soseki-san? Okay. Sholmes, do not do anything reckless. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Oh, you only need to observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. Okay, he looks like he's about to karate chop Mr. Natsume. There's nothing natural about that pose. Oh god, he was posing.
Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. You were the one arguing about not being on time earlier. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened. When you're at a party and your friends all react differently to alcohol.
My goodness! But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. So if you want the real British way of explaining that for gay men in the way that women were roommates, is that they were a confirmed bachelor. They were confirmed bachelor. Nice. Thank you for that empirical woman. One is dancing, the other one is sad, and another one has fucking... Good. At the present time, I have managed to draw two incontrovertible conclusions. Oof, here we go, Chad. Time for some deductions that we have to correct. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. Ah! Ah! Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Shums has said significant somehow? No? Don't mind me. Forget I was here. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! He's very stressed out. Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Shums' deductions? No. Please, pretend I'm not here. Invincible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant. Impossible to ignore.
You must tell us everything, Mr. Shums. Spare no detail.
But of course, let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. We've heard some truly outstanding great deductions from Mr. Shums in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles we unfold before our eyes this time. So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Sherlock Holmes, Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic number 1. Cause of death. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. The movement and mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate, which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful. Indeed. Why did he eat soap? Was this man's mother trying to scrub his tongue with soap? Why is the soap set so purposefully upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle appears against his hunger was in vain, for in the end, he will resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. Are you sure about that? The soap and the leather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though, personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. Jones eats candle wax. Write that down. Topic number 2. Suicide or murder? Cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper. The men dine and die alone. A single teacup suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Now that lock was broken when they came in earlier. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the soul key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soul, from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end. Tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the hereafter. Conclusion. No possible perpetrator present. Thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Holmes' Great Deduction. There's just one thing, Mr. Shaw. Ryunosuke is playing the Colombo card. Just one more thing, Mr. Jones. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, you really think the man would have eaten soap? It's quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing.
How extraordinary!
Truth, I have tried a little soap myself. Sean? You've eaten it, you mean? Little fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was it that it would cleanse my gut.
And did it?
As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilled the contents of my stomach? Yes, I believe it did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did.
There's something that troubles me as well, actually.
What's that?
It's Mr. Natsume.
Oh!
I can't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Strom's deductions touch nerve somehow.
No, nonsense. Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last.
I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. Yes, Mr. Strom's observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. He has the tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in at an obtuse angle. If he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. Alright then, let's see what we can do. Yes, we must pick up the keywords in Mr. Strom's quite brilliant deductions, and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Jones meant to say in the first place. In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Sherlock Holmes, Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. Topic number 1. Cause of death. Careful observation of victim related to events that transpire. From at the mouth of the disease could indicate the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large tiny plate which contains, we'll observe, 1/2 a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful, indubitably.
Why is the soap set perfectly on the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something, or about to eat something.
Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I would prefer to use a fork than to attempt it with chopsticks.
Of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate.
But might there not be any other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap.
Oh? There's another piece of soap right here. Look! There is more soap on the floor here. Mr. Shakespeare must have really loved the stuff.
Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruhodo. Look closely at this soap. You see that it would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table.
What the?
Can that be? I think that they are two halves of the same bar that broke apart.
Do you think he was drinking tea with his soap?
The cup's empty, so there's no way of knowing.
How about this for an idea? Perhaps the cup was full of water, and he was dissolving soap in it so that he could gulp as much down as possible?
Please remember that he may not actually have been the soap lover that he's been made out to be.
Yeah, clearly, it's the other thing. It's the soap. Let me.
Take that!
So smart. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really, for no depth of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there is no sign of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruto, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate.
Mr. Sharms is still posing the soap argument. Perhaps he is suggesting the man licked the soup rather than ate it.
Though in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all.
Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it?
Yeah. Okay. Must be the teacup. Yes, a Western vessel for serving for the serving of infusions of dried tea leaves.
It's a teacup, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know. Not putting on airs. Empty.
Ah, so we have already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However,
There's significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea. My thoughts exactly.
Take that!
yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop.
There's no sign of food anywhere in the room.
Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. Conclusion. Poison in the tea. Topic number 2. Suicide or murder? Because of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this a suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper. The men dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. Ah, the Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. Has already featured heavily in our deduction so far.
Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shakespeare was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that. But what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Song's suggestion. More to this deduction than it seems. We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues.
It's really right there. There's another ticket right there. It's another Western vessel for infused.
It's a teacup! And it too is empty.
Given that he's actually holding this one in his hand.
We can assume that this is the cup from which Mr. Shakespeare was actually drinking.
But that's the case.
This changes everything.
Everything we've deduced up to now is turned on its head. I have a feeling about this. I almost don't want to say it.
Yes, I know exactly how you feel.
Are we going to get Mr. Natsume implicated again?
Take that!
Did the man dine and die alone? This other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. Oh. In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's last supper, there was a guest present. At the very least, we can say now with certainty. The gas leak has affected Sean's I see. Okay, Sean's new headcanon. You see the little scope thing on Sean's face? If he's not wearing that, he doesn't see anything. He has like very strong myopia. But he just refuses to wear them. Except when he's doing analysis like the one in the steamship. He has like 10 degrees of myopia in both eyes. He only sees colors, not shapes. At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in this room last night, taking tea with the victim. What are you talking about? Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Do you mean to say you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock.
I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap.
But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about.
Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. An empty bottle, huh?
It's empty.
Empty of liquid, but full of air. That makes you think, doesn't it? Did Ryunosuke get dumber between cases? Hello, Leyaya. We're about to get Natsume Osaki-san incarcerated again in jail. Oh god. Oh god, no.
It makes me think that you're full of hot air. We should be thinking about who else was in the room at the time.
Bother. Sato-san's script in response was cleverer than my original riddle. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these three books initially.
I wonder what they are. Let's see, the titles read... The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq. Canterbury Journeys, and... A Meal for Gaboriau. Wait, I'm sure I've heard those titles before. It could just be an incredible coincidence, but... They're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day. What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. Yuki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them, that's right. And now those 3 titles are in the room of the victim. Yet Mr. Natsume claims they never have been here before. What does this mean, do you think? I really don't know what to make of it. Pile of familiar books. Here we go.
Take that!
Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Quite so, it's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Mr. Natsume, you are about to be jailed again. You purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand bookshop. That's just a coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment. Oh. No, never. Non-negotiable. If you can bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. What is this pose? Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you are arrested the very next day. Though you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. The poses. He's posing. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. Click. In short, there's only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in this room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor, I don't like his face at all, was you, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Holmes' great deduction. Soseki Natsume, at the scene. No, it's not solved, he didn't do it. Deduction complete. Elementary. Not again. Not again. Not again. Not again! Poor Soseki. Yare, Mr. Natsume. It would appear you're gonna have to accompany me down to the jungle. Again. But, wait! Hold your horses! Yes? Door, key, locked, entry, exit! Entirely impossible! Not flustered, and he's being even stranger than normal. But, you think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. What? We live in the same building after all. You have had plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. Oh, this case was hilarious. Oh, I'm seeing it right now. The irony in here. But Mr. Remy! Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. Facts speak for themselves, Mr. Moustache. Ah, you horrible Sherlock Holmes. I mean, technically it was us who solved, quote-unquote solved the case. He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? come on now. No dilly-dallying. Outside. There's a carriage waiting. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Squire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again. But... you have to help me. Please, please, I'm innocent. Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. And one more thing. Oh, yes? Fuck you! Oh, my poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. And so... he will course till apparently unbroken. Seki-san found himself once again in suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. Yeah, we did all of the work. My goodness. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. Good job, team! We can examine the crime scene in more detail now.
Yes, that's right. Ah, and of course. What? Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garidep, who discovered Mr. Shamspeare.
Ah, Mr. John Garidep, yes.
I expect we could find him in his sitting room, on the top floor as usual.
Right. We must remember to go and talk to him later then. Alright.
Oh, the poor man. So young to die. You suppose it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was.
There's a lot of poisoning in these two games. I don't know. What we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. You think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul?
Sato-san, don't be ridiculous. The British don't have souls. Sorry?
I made sure I had a reference on the ready for just such an occasion as this, actually. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. I'll just read it now. One moment.
There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there?
As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax that Britons had to pay.
Strange things they used to tax in Great Britain. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property. Extraordinary.
It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh,
What is it, Mr. Sato?
if you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose.
Oh? Oh, yes. It looks as though an amateur has broken out of a few of them just here. And Mr. Shamspeare who did it, I wonder. Being the lodger renting this room.
Ah, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. The outside there is a little ledge. There's something on it.
Outside?
Oh, it's so cold outside. You can feel it through this gap.
It snowed all last night. Would be cold. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge up there? What are those snow-covered lamps?
More bars of soap.
Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window?
I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that.
Maybe there is something hidden inside of the soap. That's why the other piece is broken, because he wanted to access the inside and there's like contraband going on or something like that. Bars of soap lined up outside the window. Then perhaps we should take one. There are two of them.
Oh dear, I suppose we could. Oh, what is this? Look here at this soap. Ah! You see, in the middle there. It's a patch that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but
Some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain.
it looks like the Hinomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful. It's probably a very expensive brand.
Expensive? What's it doing in this ramshackle old room? A lot of soap has been entered into the court record. We just steal one. Because why not?
This part is a different color. An exquisite design, isn't it?
Trust the British to turn a boring bar of soap into something special.
I quite like it. It reminds me of the Hinomaru design of the Japanese flag. I expect this is rather expensive soap.
Doesn't seem likely even who it belongs to. Oh my god, can we please examine the inside of the soap? Let's crack that bad boy open. Street map. From the previous case. Books. Ah,
What is this?
it looks like part of an envelope, I think.
Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it off when the letter was opened.
That's significant.
Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps. When you look around the room, there's no sign of a letter. The rest of the envelope, in fact, is there?
Ah, well, she's right.
And yet, here we have the torn-off end of an envelope. This strikes me as unusual.
Agree. We'd better take this just in case. Torn off end of envelope has been entered into the gold record. I mean that in detail. Nothing we can discern from it. Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or did they?
Yes, whoever opened it, clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. And judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed.
It's Susato. Perhaps someone's been reading too much of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
You can never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo. Never!
Susato, you are addicted. Never! It's very curious because you can see the outline here, but it doesn't seem like they opened it like through the opener. They just ripped it from the other side, as if it was a vertical letter instead of a horizontal one. Like how Japanese people write in vertical, so maybe Soseki-san opened this instead of the victim. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? Must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall. I swear to God, if the poisoning is due not to the tea, but because of gas leaks, I'm going to do a lot of flips.
Gas lights, a gas stove, and then really is a city of gas.
But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Gardep had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they?
Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there.
Well, I must prefer a real fire anyway. So much cozier. And here we have another disproportionately large machine. Looks like a meter of some kind.
Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins.
Ah, I see. Yes, now that you have pointed it out. I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here...
That's right. I would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating.
So if you were a poor person with no money, you would have to sleep in the freezing cold?
Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank.
Thank goodness there is no meter in our office. Right. Ooh, something there.
It's some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it?
Where does the audience sit though? At least Shakespeare performances.
actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruto, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office.
What?
Then you could practice your art every single day.
I'll think about it. If you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge.
Well, if that would help you achieve your goal.
They are very great friends. I love them so much. They are both my gay son and my boyera daughter. This I have to say. Oh, the costumes, right. Look at these extravagant bright costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room, with the scream shady goings on.
One looks like a king's attire.
A king? I've always dreamt of being a king. Rionos que no.
Oh, I think you'd be more suited to a feudal lord. A daimyo, or such like.
With a chum mage topknot? Japanese man wishes he had a chum mage.
Oh, you would look wonderful with one. And you already have the sword.
Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chum mage and a sword? Yep, probably not a good idea.
There's not much on the shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked.
Yes, not much use, are they? What's the matter?
Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all.
Prosecutor Lord Van Six?
Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and that he should donate some to the needy.
Right? He's like always throwing glasses around and stuff. He's like a menace to the jury. You can suggest it next time we meet. Right. I think that's everything. Yes, I think that's everything in here. Really think there's else. There's like this, but it doesn't really allow us. Alright. So for now, let's move. Location has been added. Oh my god. There are too many locations. Let's go to Mr. Garrido. The 1st of February, the Garrideps. Well, here we are again. The eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode.
We're here because Mr. Garrideps, the one who discovered the incident this morning. Don't forget.
You chaps, eh? Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. It was quite a trial. Much as for Mr. Garrideb as anyone, really. Straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more Bailey nonsense this morning.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garrideb.
Yes, I suppose you would like to know all about that dead lost actor stabbed in the ground floor room. Those were exactly Inspector Greggson's words, weren't they? Ooh, he's getting up. Alright. I don't really think that we should examine anything here. We know what that screen is hiding now. The aftermath of the fire altercation the other day. Suppose I'll be able to clear that mess up for some time.
Oh dear, this must be a very difficult situation for you.
I'll say. We'll talk about twists of fate and whatnot. But this is a twist and a half. A rotten show all around. Clearly struggling with everything that's happened. Oh boy. Yeah, everything is like the same as last time. Alright. This morning's incident. Must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you discovered what has happened. That hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. I went down and knocked on his door, but nobody answered.
And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door.
Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? Ben could have just overslept by half an hour.
It's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I would have to kick your door down every morning.
Well, better to be safe than sorry and all that. Is he just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden?
Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the other side of the far side of the other door.
Mr. Shamspeare. Victim's name is Mr. Shamspeare, is that right? Yes, William Shamspeare. The ground floor room 3 months ago.
And how would you describe him?
A word. Destitute.
Destitute?
Well, let's face it. The only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bully screw loose. So hard to choose which category Soseki-san would fall into.
Mr. Naruhodo, a little rude.
Oh yeah, Susato is psychic, I remember now. We're doing research as well. Research? Into what? Shakespeare, of course, Shakespeare. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that. I think you're talking about Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao
Now?
in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated.
It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, weren't there?
Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I mean, he and Mr. Shamspeare would have had much in common.
Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that.
Mr. Naruhodo, really, how rude.
Yesterday's events. After Mr. Asma's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning? Well now, it must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. I was coming down rather heavily as I remember. It was completely dark already. The doctor chap was out at the time. I really have noticed that there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. I didn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shamspeare got back. And the chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there. Oh well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Everything alright, Miss Susato?
Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garideb, you were up here in your room all evening, if I have understood correctly.
Not a big fan of stairs. With this blasted leg.
Then, how is it that you seem to know? The precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean.
Ah! That's a very good point. I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? I say, I know what you're thinking. I thought value outrage. I'm an ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I?
Then how did you know, Mr. Garideb?
It's the gas woman. The gas tells me everything. The gas? leaking gas? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything? Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. Yes, I would more or less work that out. Let me just pour water for myself here. There we go.
Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main.
Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen? Well, obviously the room would get brighter. Exactly. But at the same time, lights in all of the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. What? They would dim? Why?
Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, briefly uses more gas than usual. And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mightn't it?
Who says mightn't it?
Yes, of course, because everything's connected to a single supply pipe. What's supposed to happen though? Sounds rather undesirable.
Jolly good point. At least the gas company's pipes in this part was pretty hopeless and worn out, and barely got any gas in them to start with. But it's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they grow brighter in the rest of the house. Ah, right, I see. So by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. Got it.
Oh, of course, because when people come back home in the evening, or they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires. Never.
In point of fact, one on the ground floor and the one above it use slightly different amount of gas. By putting the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Gardet. Absolutely fascinating.
Oh well, nothing to it really. And I can't really see what that is going to help us with the case either. I would like to know why Mr. Gardet is so interested in what his tenants are up to. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity.
Oh, a copy of Rand's magazine. Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is being read all over London. Isn't it wonderful?
Naturally, one asks oneself if such a singular detective could really exist. But having met the chap, it's undeniable. He's most certainly singular. Singularly dangerous. Indeed, that's very true. Actually, this man is a menace. That's genuine public opinion for you, Mr. Soto. Perhaps it should be reflected in the stories.
Make no mistake, Mr. Naruto. I intend to snuff out the sort of public opinion we just heard personally.
I'm starting to see where Mr. Shorn's untainted reputation comes from now. There's a single apron drying on that enormous cannon-shaped clothes horse. Look.
No, Mr. Naruto. That's a real cannon.
I knew that. I was just testing you. Piece of history, that is. In plenty of action on the battlefield, I can tell. Now the old girl and I are just enjoying the peace and quiet of retirement together. And of course, he'll come in handy if the enemy decide to launch an attack here. No war going on that I don't know about.
That's your military uniform, isn't it, Mr. Garrider?
Well, ceremonial guard, yes. Been hanging on the wall ever since my retirement bash. Not an active service now, you know. Doesn't mean much to me anymore. You could have the old thing if you wanted it.
Well, it might suit Lord Van Six, perhaps. An overly ostentatious outfit like this could be just what he needs.
Very tactful, Mr. Stowe. Very tactful indeed. I don't think we're going to get anything out of investigating this place. Good to see Mr. Garriev's Medal of Honor is still proudly displayed on the wall.
The inscription reads,
For distinguished participation, if you remember. Yes, I remember, because I remember thinking even I might stand a chance of picking up honors like that. I didn't know it, I wouldn't know it to look at me now perhaps, but I had my devil-may-care days, you know. Devil-may-care? What did you get up to? Well, all in the past now, of course. The best left there. Best not, I want to know now. Alright, I think we should move on. "21st of February, local prison, cell number 9. Oh, there's like no one here yet. "21st of February, Briar Road. With the exception of the top floor, where Mr. and Mrs. Caridad live, all the windows are bricked up.
yes, that's because of an old window tax that was charged on the number of windows a property had. In order to pay less tax, the poorer members of society filled in with many of their windows.
But the tax has since been abolished, hasn't it? So the windows could all be opened up again, surely.
Unfortunately, it would appear that the residents of this district can't afford to pay to have the work done.
Yes, that is a sad state of affairs.
Especially for people like poor Mr. Natsume, who have to live all cooped up in a windowless room.
I suppose that's the price you pay for living in very cheap accommodation.
It all seems rather pointless when you put it like that. There always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garida residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact.
That one seems very warped though, especially the front wheel. Is that to make it more of a chance to ride, do you think?
No, I'm afraid that may be a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be so badly warped, I'm afraid that the rider may have been similarly afflicted.
Then there's a good chance that Mr. Natsume has been practicing on this vehicle, I think.
Oh dear. I fear you may be right.
Are we going to find a coin if we look in here? London's blanketed in fog again today, and the sky is covered in cloud. But if you look carefully in the distance, you can just make out the Crystal Tower being built. Oh yeah, it's right there.
Ah, the Crystal Tower, yes. The centerpiece of the Great Exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time.
We were talking about the Great Exhibition of London at the moment, it seems.
Well, it's to be the largest event of its kind anywhere in the world, with technology and scientists from all over. I can't wait for it myself.
Do you think visiting students from the Far East like us will be granted entry?
The last Great Exhibition that was held in London had more than 6 million visitors, it seems. This time, the British are determined to make it an even bigger success to outdo the Paris Exposition.
Ah, the good old French and British rivalry. I see. That's an incredible number of people. And with so many people expected to attend, we should easily be able to slip in unnoticed.
There's always the honest approach of buying tickets at the main entrance, Mr. Naruhodo.
Hey, your friend is here. Why has somebody built this snowman on some sort of pedestal, do you think?
That's not a pedestal, Mr. Naruhodo. That is part of the snowman's body.
Really? But it already has a perfectly good body.
Well, it's true that British snowmen are usually made with 2 balls of snow. Perhaps this is a foreigner.
And now we're looking at him as if he's strange. Poor man. I know how he feels.
If anything, it's Japanese and British 2-ball snowmen that are the strange ones, isn't it? After all, real people do have 3 sections: head, torso, and legs.
Do you ever think that perhaps you think about things too much? I'm saving that for personal use. Alright. A great little household, and Mr. Natsume's lodgings are in a prominent position there on the corner. Sometimes when I look at the building, I can't help feeling that it's a bit of a slant.
It does rather look as though it would collapse in even the smallest earthquake, doesn't it?
And isn't it supposed to be haunted as well? I think I might have to hunch as to why Soseki-san has such a hunchback. No, I don't want to examine, I want to move.
Mr. Gatherer, could I show you this? In quite a couple of days, as you can imagine. Afraid I'm rather tired. I haven't really got the energy in the old eyeballs, to be honest with you.
Some other time then. Yep, it's the same. I guess we should go back to the hospital bed. Nope. He seems to be gone. Ah, there we go. 21st of February. Tom suit. Damn it. Ooh, Iris. Iris? Incredible concentration, that is.
I find it quite remarkable how she can focus on so many different things at once.
That's the hyperfixation right there.
Perhaps I should try drinking more herbal tea.
The blender from the right would be good for you, Rona.
Oh, Iris? This girl is destined for great things, I'm sure. What are we missing? Are we missing, like, something? That's an impressive collection of cakes on that fancy silver cake standard.
I feel sure that it was full of cakes when we first investigated in here as well.
Yes, quite right. Haven't touched it since. Haven't done much at all really since it all happened. Time's rather stood still for me, you know.
Oh,
Time has stood still? Now that's an interesting phrase. I might be able to use that excuse when I'm next supposed to be tidying the office.
you could just tidy up, Mr. Naruhodo.
These shells look like they've been completely torn apart by a wild beast. Reminds me of the Battle of May 1, don't you know? Ah, the experiences of a seasoned veteran. We had us surrounded on all sides. We really thought we were done for the whole Valley Company. We were taking a real pounding from their cannons, so all we could do was run for our lives. Oh, I thought that story was going in a different direction actually. Well, the whole experience told me one thing, I can tell you. When you're done for, you're really done for. Ugh. That's not what a lawyer who often finds himself under fire wants to hear. No, that's the cake. I wanted to check the window. Check the window, please. There's a good view over the wintry east end from up here. It's an oppressively grey scene. There's really nothing comparable in Japan. And down below, Briar Road, probably blanketed in snow.
And the pavement where poor Miss Green was struck in the back by that knife.
Thinking about it, this is the only room in this building that actually has a window to the outside world. Sometimes, Great Britain really does seem like a strange land, doesn't it? I suppose all foreign cultures seem strange at first. Imagine how an Englishman would feel on arriving in Japan and seeing people with a chum-mate stop not. Well, that's a good point. Are we like missing anything? Not really. Ah, here. You look very dashing in your uniform there, Mr. Eldeb. Ah, that old portrait. Drawn by an art student who used to rent the room downstairs. Oh, you look so wonderfully young and courageous and strong. Yes, well, the chap presented it to me one day and asked if I would let him off of the month's rent in return. Oh, I see. So you did, presumably. I very well did not. Oh. A portrait is a portrait, but the rent is rent. Eh? And yet, it's still there proudly on the wall. Yeah, nothing. I assume this doesn't really have anything else. Yeah. Okay, so probably we should go back. No, we should probably go back to the murder scene. Oh, and investigate. Really? We missed the teapot. Like, this should come with the... Okay.
Ah, one of the teacups that Mr. Shakespeare and his guest drank from last night. But I'm not drinking from them, Mr. Naruto. There is bitter poison inside.
I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty.
That's true. So one was for Mr. Shakespeare's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from.
But Suzuki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take this so that we can examine them in more detail later. The pair of teacups has been entered into the court record. Okay, there we go. Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Inspector Gretchen, back so soon? After I threw the little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the job. Cordoned off. Oh, I see. Well, we'd better be leaving then.
Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low being back in the cell again so soon.
Okay, before we continue, let's examine this. There are multiple cracks.
This must be the cup that Mr. Shakespeare was drinking from then.
It's stained on the inside.
He does that, I'm afraid, even green tea.
Really? I have never noticed before.
You have never noticed?
Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it?
Oh dear, so many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture. And most of them are Japanese. This is the teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking.
Yes, and like the other one, the inside of this cup is completely clean.
Suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark.
I always gulp it down too.
Sorry, Mr. Naruto.
Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold.
Clearly, I should have to instruct you in the proper way to take tea.
There is no tea ring on the inside of Mr. Natsume's cup. I think that's everything, so let's continue. I'm sure. Oh, we should probably go and.
What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Out, out, breathe candle. Lies but a walking shadow, a poor player. That struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Now, who soundeth the next part? Here's a tale, told by an idiot, full of stun and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed, oh happy day. Sir? What? Walking Dead! The fella isn't dead at all? Again? What was that nonsense he was saying though?
I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5.
Shakespeare. So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. Inspector Gregson evicted us from a scene of the crime, whatever that now was. Oh? 21st of February, Briar Road.
Whatever do you think will happen now?
Good question.
What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume.
Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life.
I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison as we deduced. But was it an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody.
I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what is this? What is that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to sneak into Sosekistan's lodgings.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Excuse me, could we have a word? Oh! Why is he a bee? He just ran off.
I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it?
I do too, but I don't remember. Well, we've done as much investigating as here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again.
A good idea.
Alright. Prison. Look at him, he's taking this quite well. 21st of February, local prison, cell number 9.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now?
How comes to that, Mr. Naruhodo Squire? Yes? What is he? Tell me. Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me? Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes?
He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost.
But his diabolic deductions. They're not of this world. They've led me. Oh, cursed! I'm cursed, I tell you. Well, that sort of hurts.
Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the deduction too.
Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news. Oh?
The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again.
And now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume? It's terrible! Oh. I'm stuck in this cell, suffering for some silly wrong end of the stick. Didn't you confess you're a killer? Why the moustache? Constant questions. I'm sorry to hear that. Ah, that selfish shyster. Make up your mind. Are you dead or alive? If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy William. Well, it seems that Mr. Shakespeare was never actually dead in the first place. Ah, yes, that might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last. Oh! Oop! Mr. Natsume? Does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shakespeare, didn't you know? Didn't you? I'm not saying another word. I demand to have a lawyer present. Who do you think I am? Who the hell do you think I am?
Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story.
Oh, why am I cursed like this? What happened? Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume? There's nothing to tell. But Mr. Naruhodo Squire? I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me with that accursed case yesterday. Case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back.
It's hard to believe that was only yesterday.
When the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. That evening at past 9, it must have been, I visited Mr. Shakespeare. So you did go to the victim's room then?
As we feared.
I didn't do anything wrong. I had never been to his room before. It was the first time. Then what made you decide to go? I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell. That ties in with what Mr. Galilev said. The victim went out and came back after 8. I want my pastrami? Victor, what the hell are you talking about? We met again later that evening at around 9 or just after, when I took him for some nice tea I had brewed as a gift. So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then.
And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet! Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate.
I'm sure.
Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare. And the debate became very heated. So you slipped poison into Mr. Shakespeare's tea. No, never! Not at all! Team Juliet won, that was me! And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit. I swear it categorically. Cursed existence. Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I have noticed. That you have a cursed existence. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now. In that time, I've learned that it's no place for me.
It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture.
There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me, they all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. Living in my room, I find no respite from my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember. Then 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road. But why? I mean, Why did you choose that place? Doesn't seem very comfortable. Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money, it spoke to me.
The rent?
Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed. Cursed? Cursed how? The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there.
Oh no!
He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why. Surely no one would want to live in a room with a story like that. I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money, and a horrible history is a small price to pay. When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning. Brave or blinkered? But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I had done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was.
Gosh, was it really so awful?
Horrible history.
How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened?
At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me.
Do you think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you?
No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare since I was given the keys to the place.
A nightmare?
You've been having bad dreams, you mean? All the souls who've died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me. That really is horrible. And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shakespeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room.
You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right, I know it, and that's why I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home.
I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become a history.
Ooh, Susato-san knows how to make the man listen. Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well. You mean Mr. Garrider? Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again. Well, that is true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place.
Perhaps that may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements.
I mean, because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his bedroom. What do you mean, he pays so much attention to the gas lamps?
Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please forget I said anything.
Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well. Important is that Mr. Shakespeare isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come around and he'll be able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released. But yes, please, I do hope you're alright. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's Inspector Gregson. I can help over here in what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news. Oh! Which do you want first? Always, every time, the bad news comes first. And hope is all you have? Hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Right, well, in that case, the good news it is. Huh? Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way. Then why did you ask me my preference? I have heard that the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, was just unconscious. Is Cameron?
Yes, we saw it happen in all its terrifying glory.
Still being treated by the doctors, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume?
Oh, thank goodness. It's all over then. I can leave this somber cell. Sorry, no, that's not on the cards. What?
We were not, Inspector.
Mr. Shakespeare has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night. Implicated someone?
Oh dear.
You don't mean... Sorry to say I do. Yes. He has pointed a finger at you, Mr. Natsume. Ah! My sweet poison did his seeketh to end my life. That wicked scative, Saseki Natsume. No! Though I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations. Ay. No! And so, once again, Oseki-san found himself having to take the dog in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted, or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court, and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. To be continued. Alright, let's save the progress. And I think we're going to call it here for today. Let's go back to title. Save 1 second just in case. And leave it here for today. Now then. Thank you everyone for being here. It's been a fantastic and very fun stream. And I hope to see you all again soon. I think I'm going to close stream right away. I'm not going to really do anything else. So, as for now, I bid you all farewell. Nice stream, thank you, Parrot. I hope you had fun with my silly voices. Good night. It's not even 8 p.m. It's not night. But yeah, you do have a good night, Blue Parrot, as well. See you all, everyone. Bye.